Welcome to day 26 of my 33-day self-mastery challenge. Today we're going to talk about empowerment and how appropriate on this journey, this twin flame journey, this ascension journey. Basically, the whole journey is just about us coming into the wholeness, completeness, as these aspects are helping us do, to bring more empowerment to our life. Hello, Trudy. So if you have been going about your journey, trying to achieve something through this enlightenment period, probably one of the main things that we're all trying to achieve is that sense of empowerment, because we've been so disempowered by giving our power away to people, the experiences, different things that we've went through, and allowing our stories to still rule us, allowing, like say on the twin flame journey, allowing another person to have control over what your decisions are, what you choose to do, what you need to do for you. And so it's about kind of going through things to call that in, to rope that in, to pull that all together. So I just want to kind of collect that energy, because while we think of empowerment on one end of something that we kind of understand it from a logical standpoint, and it makes total sense, and we can know when we're basically in experiences that disempower us, I think the important thing is to think about is that in this stage of the game, it's about embodying it in a way that you don't just know it, that you own it. And that will bring you more confidence. That will bring you more power. That will bring you and set you in a place of this journey that will help you stand apart from just the knowing and the doing, but the being in it. Like, you are it and it is you, and you can't separate that. And that's where this whole journey being about coming into your wholeness in all your aspects. You're not separate from these things. You actually act in such a ways in your daily basis, on a daily basis, in your daily way that you navigate life. You do it in such a way that without conscious thought, you're living it out, and you're living out the fullness of who you are. You're not making any apology for it, and you're able to move and navigate in a way that directs you to the higher version of you. And I will say this, there is like this balance between, say, power and grace, because we have two sides to this journey. And, one side is we're coming into empowerment, and the other side, we got to like surrender, let go, and stay in this flow, fluid, flexible place. But I talked about strength yesterday, I think it was. And sometimes our greatest strength comes from the weakest point of who we are, and loving that, honoring that, accepting that, cultivating that. And same thing with being disempowered. If you can acknowledge it, you can accept it, you can actually transform it to become more powerful, to become more empowered. And I think when it comes to empowerment, that's important in the embodiment aspect of that is that we can be who we came here to be, and create these identities that allows us to be in our authenticity, allows us to be unique, allows us to show up in a way that we're operating from a place of stepping into like our soul calling in some ways, but doing it from a place of confidence, courage, and commitment. And like becoming aware of it would be another thing, because we can go through the motions of all of these things, but it's so important when you add awareness to what you're doing, that brings you even more power. That allows you to show up in more of a place of standing firm, strong, stable. And I think that the important thing of that would be to help you gain some strength, stability, a foundation. So think of empowerment as the foundation to so many other aspects of what we do. It's like if you don't have the empowerment, if you don't have the stability, if you don't have the strength underneath of it all, then you waver more. But the more you can be empowered, the less wavering I think you experience. And when I say wavering, I would say that is between your resistance and your surrender states of what you go through that forces you to face yourself, to take action and implement certain things that you have to apply within your daily life. Hi, Sarah. Welcome, 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 welcome. Can't wait to see you on our next call. And loved your post, by the way. Sarah is in our Lightworker Academy. And if anybody is just tuning in and hasn't heard me talk about the Lightworker Academy, be sure to check it out in the link above below you or in the bio section on Instagram, because that will actually help you be more empowered when you put your actions into something that is, hey, Zoe, welcome. Good to see you. At a time we're control. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. I'm going to talk about that, Zoe. Thank you for that comment. I'm going to put you up here in just a second and I'll share that. So basically, I think what I was saying is that sometimes, so for instance, let's talk about that with, like, say, your purpose. Sometimes you don't have the skills, the resources, the things you need to make you feel empowered. So it blocks you because you feel like you're not confident or you don't feel like you have what you need. So what I find personally and with clients is that the more you don't take action and the more you like let things sort of build up and you don't face them, the more it creates an illusion that keeps you kind of staying distant, because it becomes more and more hard to face what it is you need to face. And the bigger it builds up, the harder it is to face. A lot of people I'm working with right now, myself included in this, is clearing some programming of like childhood stuff and things that have built up for having suppressed emotions and not really fully expressing the self. And we're revisiting these things that have been some lifelong patterns. So if you're experiencing like a lifelong pattern right now that you're trying to clear, leave me a message, because I'm seeing this a lot with people. But it's really important to clear these lifelong patterns, because that's a way we can take back our power and we can show up more empowered by being in our state of power and being free of the limitations. But back to I'm kind of jumping around here, but the point, as I was talking about before, is when you can call in your power and you can take action. For instance, say you've been trying to get into your purpose or into your mission, but you don't know how. That's disempowerment, because you're stuck. You're limited. You don't know what to do. You don't know what's next. I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know who to help. I don't know how to help them. And I got to figure all this out. Well, the thing is, you will be figuring that out until the cows come home, until you take a step towards something. And the minute you take the step towards something and you put some energy into moving the energy, then the doors start to open and a path starts to come forward. And then you just take one step and the next step and the next step. And those steps will accumulate into these bridgeway that will lead you towards more of where direction you're to go. And so if that's been you, I invite you to join us for the Lightworker Academy, because it can really help you take a step forward in a quantum leap into stepping more into your purpose as a Lightworker, as a way shower, as a soulpreneur. And I've provided all these tips, tools, techniques, strategies, programs, everything's in there you need, including the live coaching with me and online courses and community. And we're building such a great community in that group. And everybody that's been in there is just loving the connection, loving the interaction, loving the whole dynamic of it. And I got to tell you, that's empowering me. I've been thinking about the post I'm getting and the feedback I've been getting. It's like, wow, like I took a leap of faith into a next level of myself and my mission, and not knowing where that would go or what it would lead to, other than knowing I'd been building something up for 7 years and being called to pull it out. And again, back at square one, not sure how to do all that, not sure how to make all that happen, but I just kept moving. And now I'm seeing results that are just life-changingly powerful, that is blowing me away, that is feeding into it now, that is creating momentum. And the momentum becomes this fuel that when you bring people together in such a community like that, you are creating a vortex of energy that everyone feeds from, that's its own entity. And that can bring you more power when you invest your time, your talent, your resources into things that are empowering you. And if you're investing those time into things such as worrying about what he's doing, when's he going to call me, what is he not doing, and you're looking at all those things, you're stepping outside of your own power and you're disempowering your own self. So make it like, I challenge you to like take a look at what you have not faced, what you've been putting off, and what you've been feeling stuck in, because taking action in that area will bring you back your power and help you move into the next realm of what it is you need to see, heal, or be, or do. And so that's one thing I would highly recommend you do. And just trying to see if there's anything else. I want to answer your question, Zoe. Let me just get my glasses and make sure I read that right. Okay, so, all right. So, Zoe, is the amount of time we spend wavering something that we have control over? And absolutely, we have control over that. And the reason we have control over it is because it's our inner resistance that's creating an inner struggle, an inner battle that's pulling us out of alignment with our greater good. So it's all inside of us, and that is all control we have. So let me just tune into that and see. I'm just going to tune into the energy of that and see if I have an example for you, and maybe some actions you can take into that space to kind of like it's a place, it's one of the only places you can fully have control over, and that you should have control over. So, there's a lot of things that's out of our control, but it's one of them that is absolutely in our control and will actually bring us so much power, Zoe. So great question. Okay, I'm going to tune into that for some action that you can take in that space. Okay, here's one of the ways that you can fully regain your power in this. So I'm going to give you, I heard the words as I closed my eyes saying like to be or not to be. So many people, like, when part of this giving power away is about saying like, well, I don't know. Do I want this? Do I want that? I'm going to wait until the universe. I just want to like lean back. I want like it to come to me, and I want to make decisions and choices based on what I'm guided to do. Well, the thing about it is you're the creator of this, of what you want. And until you decide what you want or the direction or to take some action in that, you are wavering, giving your power away by not taking an action step towards something, and everything's just floundering. It's indecisive, it's chaotic, it's limiting, and it's hindering. Hey, Natalie. Good to see you. Oh, yeah. Glad you're here. Good to see you. So the way you can stop floundering in this and stop, coming to, one is of course it's trust, right? To let go of control requires a lot of trust. And I think a lot more people are being like forced into situations of putting you in a place to really test your trust and the timing of things and the patience and the tolerance, so that you can surrender to something bigger and greater than you could create on your own. So when it comes to our resistance and surrender and wavering in that, basically the only thing we can do in the surrender is, one, let go of expectations, let go of a sense of outcome, let go of projecting what we think somebody should or shouldn't be doing, namely twin flame in this case, potentially. But the only thing I can tell you that will help you get out of it is the power of choice. So the power of choice will put an end to the wavering, and it will create the power you need to come into an empowerment. But when you sit back and you're not sure, and then you're letting the divine control, and you don't know if you should do this way or that way, and I'm going to wait and see what shows up, you're powerless, and it's going to keep you floundering. And the control in it is to say, I am the creator of the reality. What do I want? Now let me take some action in that, and let me create my reality, because I am the co-creator of it. And that's it. I mean, and that's going to bring you back power. That's going to make you feel empowered, and that's going to move energy. So keep in mind, all of this is energy. So your thoughts are energy, your feelings are energy, your emotions are energy, your life is energy, all these things. Your body has energy. And you've heard that probably saying, if you have a rigid mind, you have a rigid body. If you have a rigid body, you have a rigid life. And so if you want to become empowered, you get to be the driver of your life, and you get to kind of get in the seat and be like, okay, let's go. Where do I want to go? And you make the decisions of which direction. Okay, so I'm going to see what you got here too going on, Natalie. That's a good question too, or good. No direction is a decision of not doing apathy. Gives energy away to others that control you. Yep, that's it. Exactly. So you are giving your power away when you don't make it, when you're indecisive and when you're waiting. And that keeps you in a loop of drain equals drain equals drain, right? This is why you're here today, Natalie, because well, thank you. I'm glad you're here today. So what are we going to do about that, Natalie? What actions are you going to take back your power? That's a good question for everyone. I want you to think about what is blocking you, where you're not taking action, and where can you take some action that's going to bring your power back? That's how, Zoe, that you can regain control. Great question, Zoe, as I mentioned. So anyway, one of the things I want to invite you guys to do is, this is day 26. If you're just coming into 33 days of self-mastery, we're talking about empowerment today being an aspect that you need to regain, reclaim, embody, integrate with, so you can come into the wholeness and completeness and find that oneness of yourself. And so if you've not been following, you can follow the ones up to this timeline on my playlist on YouTube. If you have been following and missed some, you can find it there as well. If you've been following and you haven't, or if you didn't know, I'm giving away a free card deck at the end. And so basically, leave me a comment in whatever platform you're on, letting me know what you're doing in order to take back control of your own vibration, your own choices. What choices you're making is going to bring and make you more empowered. If you tag someone, you'll get 2 additional entries. And if you share on whatever platform, you'll get 3 additional. So each video, you have an opportunity, 6 chances. Some people are getting that for every video I've done. And I'll do the drawing on the 33rd day, which is not, let's see, it's about a week away now. So we have about a week left. And so yeah, check that out. There's a link in the description above or below, or on Instagram in the bio for the card deck, if that's something you're interested in. And don't forget to check out my Lightworker Academy that can help you become more empowered if you step into your purpose. So let's see. Oh boy. Your living situation. Okay, let me read this with my glasses on. It's crucial for your work. What to work on first is their question for you. What do you do if the person you live with is not fully on board with holding a higher vibration, safer energy for your own well-being, and a higher vibration healing and work? Well, first of all, Natalie, part of the key in that is you need to make your living situation one that is like uplifting and empowering to you. And so that's number 1. Number 2, the second part is, if it's not, then you need to look at that as that's a mirrored reflection of you. So what is it that you should learn that you're not seeing in the situation? That could be a piece of it. It could be that maybe you're being asked to like not be so distracted by external chaos that's disturbing you from doing your work. Because technically, just the thought of I can't get my work done because there's somebody else in my house that is like not on board with my vibration, that in itself is like just that statement is like and it's coming to me. I'm just the messenger. It's an excuse. So it's going to be so important for you to like make no excuses and to like rewire that thought that you can't get your work done because somebody's, disrupting your energy. Because what I will tell you is I've learned this from many ways. I ran from opposing energy my whole life. I'm the first to tell you I've let chaos like on the external forces create distortion in me. That's right, Trudy. But in that, I've been put to the test to do what I'm telling you. And so, like, everything around me returned from everything that was opposing energy to help me stay centered in myself, to not let external forces be anything that robs me of who I am, what I do, and when I do it, and to stay empowered doing it. And I've had people that's been like ascension teachers that been in my life that, I pretty much like would just, say, no, I'm not going to deal with that and go about my way. Well, you basically go through that until you realize that that external force is really just a reflection of you and where are you not seeing you in the situation. So there are two parts. Number one is you need to hold space for what you desire. And number two, you need to because it's there and you may not fully be able to change it, at least not overnight. You need to go about every bit of it being like, what is this teaching me? And right now, I'll tell you on a collective scale, one of the things it's teaching is it's teaching us to rise above what we've known into a sense of divine love. And I'm hearing this, seeing this, and it's coming to me over and over and over that this whole journey is more about divine love than anything. So it's not as much about you and what's going on with you as the fact that you love them anyway, and you come to a place that whatever they do doesn't bother you at the end of the day. And I will be the first to tell you that's not easy to do, especially if you live with them. So just to be their vibration, you need to be and let them be them. And I get that. If they hold negative entities or attachments, and their lifestyle promotes lower risk. So that's the other part of that is you also not attaching to the attachment, if that makes sense. Part of the attachment to all of it is your attachment and judgment to it. So you have to realize there's an underlying judgment about it all that's linking back to being connected to you. But the minute you release your judgment, then it releases it from you. Yeah. Okay. So it is letting go of his energy, but it's more importantly letting go of the need to judge his energy. Hopefully that makes sense, but that's it. You can see it now. Yes. Yes. So basically your projection of what you see in it is the problem. And I'll be the first to tell you, I've learned the same thing, and I still do sometimes, right? So I'm on this journey like everyone. Let him be him, you be you. Exactly. And then when you basically stop seeing it, it stops happening. So keep in mind that what happens, what we see is what we get. So one thing is you might see one thing, but there might be a whole nother side of the one thing that you're not seeing. So there's a piece of it you aren't seeing, and that's the part you're to see. And when you see that, it's full circle and it's dissolved. Okay. Trudy, let's see. That's right. Let's see. We must learn to stay centered no matter what. Exactly. Thanks for your input, Trudy. All right. Well, That is my empowerment session for today on this 33 days of self mastery. And I will be back tomorrow. We have about a week to go. Make sure to check out my Lightworker Empowerment Academy and check out the card deck if you're interested, but make sure to leave what you're doing to empower yourself. And I will add you to the drawing for the card deck. Sierra, thank you so much for joining. I can't wait to see you. All right, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow. So I'm not sure of the time in these days, but I'll be back. So if you're on YouTube, hit that notification bell and it will notify you when I come live. If you're not on YouTube, get on there and hit the notification bell, subscribe, and I'll see you when I come back tomorrow. Have a great night, day, evening, morning.